Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, the 13th of January, 2005. I got it right. Um, Obviously, it's the day after the afternoon before. How are you doing today, bath time?
I'm all right. Do you know why I always mention the date at the start of the show and like you to do it as well?
Yeah, so that if we have to look back, then we know, innit?
No, it's more about so that I know, so that I can prepare my food for the next day and see what's running out, what needs to be eaten. That's why I always. That's why I always do that. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a bit, little bit taken aback, to be honest, to the sort of the drama that this result has caused. I mean, like Arsenal United is obviously a massive game. It's the second biggest game in English football to me after us versus Liverpool. But I'm not wildly familiar with the sort of bigger content channels and the AFTV and stuff like that. And I've seen clips all weekend, and
Now,
I find
do you
it's
get it?
embarrassing.
Do you get why we needed to win the game, bath time?
No, no,
You still don't understand.
honestly right. It's like watching Aliens to me. These people are not
Th-
football
This
fans.
is the beauty of it, bath time. Me, right. These people on the fan channels,
Yeah,
me and Yaba, we actually know Arsenal supporters like that, that we know, physically know, that carry on like that.
you need to put a
So
stop
that
to that.
no, and this is why this is the beauty of us winning the game. They can't say nothing. They can't say nothing. They can't say so. I know you said obviously you don't have that rivalry. You wouldn't have that. Yours is
Nah,
Northwest. Yours is
yeah,
Liverpool. Yours is I Liverpool's. I know a few Liverpool supporters, but it's Arsenal. I live in London, bro. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
this
So I
is
know
this,
more City fans than I know Arsenal fans, to be honest.
I know two City
I
fans.
don't know many City fans.
Well, I used to live in Manchester, innit? And there's not a lot of them outside of Manchester, but like I know a few. And the younger generation are beginning to support City a lot more, which worries me. But real people aren't like that, just running about and shouting and screaming and trying to be comedians.
They are.
Surely,
You don't understand. We know
ugh,
we know, and this is why we had to beat them. The way we beat them with 10 men, the fact that Havertz, their savior, is the one who's getting in their neck. Everybody's switching to Arteta out. The club's in meltdown, and this was the trigger. We could see it coming. This was the trigger. You know what I mean? Guess what? They've now got their North London right. They're gonna beat Tottenham anyway. But
do you
if
reckon?
Tottenham, yeah, Tottenham are shit, man. If Tottenham can somehow come out with some sort of miracle, they're done. They are done. They would have 5 days to go out there and buy a striker. Jesus is they're talking about he might be out for the rest of the season.
Wow.
So, they've got Saka, world class or not world class, Yaba, missing as well. But guess what? We had injuries last season, and for whatever reason,
Finished Klopp last season as well. Did
yeah,
Arteta this season?
do you know? So injuries are what they are. It's part and parcel of the game. We've now got a manager who cares about the players' welfare, who's not interested in playing the game and then bringing them into hard train again, so that they're all crippled come the end of the season. We got somebody who's taking care of them. So yeah,
But is it just us, right? 'Cause I remember I've seen that bigger fish to fry comment that was like 2 years ago or so when they thought they were going to win the league. Are they overreacting so much because it's United? Because I mean, you
the
know,
FA Cup holders.
no, we're the FA Cup
No, sorry,
holders.
it's their trophy. Don't forget, it's their trophy because they've won it 14 times, but they've been knocked out in the third round and fourth round for the last 5 years. So it's continued. It hasn't stopped their pathetic performances in the cup. So yeah, it's their trophy, fine. But now they're out. So it's a United thing because they think we're shit.
Yeah, well, we
You know what
are.
I mean? But we are. But if you haven't watched us in the last few games, then you
Yeah,
still think that we're shit. And they're not going to watch us. They just see it on the, oh, we drew 2-2. Oh, Liverpool should have won. Liverpool are shit. We've now beaten them. Oh, don't worry. We're still shit. We need to get to the level where teams are thinking, oh, shit, they're playing Man United again.
yeah.
So yeah, it's all
It
right. Yeah,
just
but we were
yeah.
waffling.
Sorry.
We've been waffling. We've had you sitting down there, nice and polite. How are you, sir?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I feel really good. Like, look, I don't know if its impact is like mesmerizing what we did yesterday. Really, let's break it down. Let's break it down. We're playing against a team called Arsenal, who have come second in the league and challenging, and they've beaten us, various times over the last few years. We struggled against them. We played them a few weeks ago. They beat us on set pieces and bullied us, wanted it more, And they're the team that's supposed to be challenged for the title, especially this year, but they're not. They're 9 points, potentially 9 points at the top. So when we saw the draw, we were like, oh man, we're the holders. They're going to take our belt from us at their ground because we haven't won there for so long. But it's not about that, is it? It's about character. And we go down to 10 men. We score first, go down to 10 men, and we're thinking, wow, Arsenal are going to take over now. But there's something inherent in that club. And I'm going to say it now. I don't care what people think. There's something inherent in that club which makes a difference between Man United and Liverpool. Heritage, something about them. When the going gets tough, they go out there and they're clutch. They take the opportunity to win major trophies. Arsenal are different. We saw they were 2-1 up with 10 men against Man City. In the last kick of the game, they conceded a goal. They were spoon-fed the title for the last 2 years. They didn't want it. They threw it away. They started dribbling on their bib, and said, I don't want it, like a baby. Puked it all up. Said, no, we don't want it. That is something about the club. Forget the great players they may have or you think they have. There's something about the club that means they can't do it. You got a captain in a little wonder kid, 14-year-old Norwegian wonder kid who's gone to Real Madrid, gone to students clubs, ended up at Arsenal. He's their captain because he shows a bit of desire, a bit of heart, but he's never won a major trophy. Major trophy is a Champions League or Premier League title, in my opinion. FA Cup, these are domestic cups, minor cups. When you start the season, there's a big club, you aim for those two trophies. Arsenal have never won a Champions League. You can't expect a guy like Odegaard, their captain, to know what it takes to get them over the edge. You can't expect a manager like Arteta to come in and to get them to that next level. He's never done it. He's never. So, for one, I understand their fans are a pain in the neck. They're a pain in the arse. They're Johnny-come-latelys. They like Arsenal because it's fashionable in London to go with all these sort of it's like a diverse football team, isn't it? You got all these, like Saka went to a school right 2 minutes from Mr. B's house. Do you understand what I'm saying? My mum used to go at a high school where Saka used to go to. It's all local around here, and he's playing for Arsenal now. So it's one of our own, And then you get all these guys, they're brothers. Who are you going to support in London? You support Arsenal because it's a diverse team and everyone loves them. But you've got people who are doing fan channels like this, just embarrassing the club. Because they haven't got any heritage. They're talking a load of rubbish. They lose something. Oh, remember Wenger out, get Wenger out. The guy who took them from nothing to winning something again, doubles and everything else. Wenger out, because they weren't happy. Yesterday they were talking about Havertz. He's a flipping good player. Champions League scorer in a final. He's a good player. You ask our centre-backs if Havertz is good. Yeah, he's a pain in the arse. He's a trouble and shovel player. No, he's rubbish. They're burying him. This is what's wrong with their fan base because they don't. Their club hasn't got heritage, and their fans don't have heritage because the way they treat the players, the way they carry on.
The Wolfenstein Raider here.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly how it is. So I'm really proud that we were able to show with 10 men have the fortitude to get the job done, by any means necessary, and go walk out there, get the train on Euston, that to Manchester, all the fans delighted. That's the difference between the two clubs. That's the difference between the two fan bases as well. It's a really good result. We're buzzing. And by the way, obviously, I know there's lots of good news coming out and little clips and everything else, but the little clip of Xerxes, who's had a bit of retribution with the great Saliba, Saliba coming over, to chop Sui's legs and disappeared. Retribution. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's so many good things coming out of the game. It's a good time to be a Man United fan because you don't, unless you suffer, what you have to understand, unless you suffer like we've suffered, that's when you enjoy things more. My greatest moment was the 1985 FA Cup final against the mighty Everton. We went down to 10 men. Kevin Moran got sent off. Peter Willis, the referee, first referee ever to send a man off. We're up against it, against the mighty Everton, going to extra time. Mark Hughes, nice little ball outside of it. Sets normal Whiteside free, and he has to beat that greatest goalkeeper in the world, Neville Southall, with a curling shot, And that was wow, because it meant so much because we were on our face. We hadn't won a title since '68. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is 1985. This is years later. So it's good that we go through the hard times because then we appreciate more. Like yesterday, good times like that, and it means a lot to us. And we're a great fan base. We're a great club, and long may it continue.
Right, guys. We had to have our chat. I'm sorry. I know you've been waiting patiently in the comment. But yeah, now you know why we hate them so much. Bath time. Now you know where that comes from.
I get it now. They're fucking aliens, man. They're not real people. I'm on your side now, Yabba. They walk amongst us.
I Join us. All right, let me say a couple of howdies. Bart, good evening all. Asus, Ogate free game ban. We'll discuss that. Before we talk about the transfers. Matty Bassett is giving us a big up. Luan, France. Good evening, everyone. Kieran, Arsenal fans love to talk until October when it all crumbles. There you go. There you go. Andrew, to be fair, United played well versus Liverpool. Andrew, is there a crack in the hatred? I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, we'll see. Maybe it's just the wording, but I'm
shout out to Andrew. He went on the Stretford paddock the other day. I couldn't believe it.
With his glasses and his cowboy jacket.
Yeah. I could not believe it when I saw that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Solo, big up, man.
Yeah,
I hope you're not out there in the cold, man. Stephanie's saying, I think one of these will leave, and one of those initials are MR. We'll get onto that as well. Big G, Oi Savaloy, Kieran. They apparently challenged for the title every year. Arteta is a useless manager. Oh, they're beginning to see that now as well. Stephanie, big up, Mr. B, Yabba, and Bath Time. Yo, Sexy G. Oh. Okay. Okay, Andrew. See, he's cracking. Look, there's no negativity. He's coming in, calling people sexy, saying how well United are doing. Yeah, I think it's a clone. I think it's a clone, Yabba.
No, I just haven't highlighted all of the nonsense that he's been talking.
That's probably. See, if you notice, I've got the starred comment, so that's probably why I thought Andrew had been changing. Thank you, Bath Time. Thank you. Big G, the amount of stick I gave my Arsenal supporting work colleagues, God, it was a beautiful moment. Stephanie saying our numbers are quite low, guys. Let's get those likes up, please. Bart, Saka is a lily white, isn't he, Yabba? No, he's not. Big G, Yabba, can we have a shout out for Harry Maguire? He was exceptional yesterday, and his haters must jog on. On that topic, Bath Time, was it you that sent me the thing about him being sick?
Yeah.
For 2 days before the game.
Yeah. Gets up like Lazarus.
Fair play to him. Listen, in a back three, I'm not going to knock him in. He's doing his job. Was he worth the 125 million pound that we spent on him? No. But now I'm beginning to appreciate the fact that he's in the team. So, no, well, I have to. I'm not. Well, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not Harry Maguire's biggest fan. In a 2, he's shit. Let's not get into it. In a 2, he's shit. But in a 3, I have absolutely no problem. I think he's been magnificent. So,
yeah,
I'll hold up my hands. Yes, errors may well come, but he's been top. He's been top. I'll gladly smoke that Yabba pipe for a bit. But yeah, he's been exceptional. Big G, disappointed you guys didn't do a watch along. By the way, do you know what? I'm with Big G. I'm gonna when I do a watch along, we lose. Right? I'm sorry. I want us to win in it. As much as I would like to be there with you guys, I want us to win. You know, so if it means that I'm more worried if I do Southampton, and we lose, that's not a game that I can afford. I can't. So yeah, maybe Yabba will do it. But I'm not doing it until I'm confident. Then we'll see. Damien, Good evening, United Agenda. Big up a step back for United if they sell Garnacho. If he's so much potential, and how many people could? Oh, you talk about his goal. Yeah, it is natural. We'll get onto him as well. Although I would let him go. I think I don't think he's what we need at the moment. But we'll get onto that. Kieran, under Ten Hag, we are never getting results at Arsenal, Liverpool, City. Amrin is a tactical genius. We deserve better. Where you been, man? You've been dilly-dallying with this comment. Where I live is mainly United, Liverpool, and Arsenal and Chelsea fans. Yeah, stick it to him, man. Andrew, lack of self-awareness is truly shocking from Yabba. Look, these are starred messages, but
I put a couple in just to let you know that Andrew is still being Andrew.
Yeah.
Whereas we live in the metropolis, city, and we're arguing with all these rival fans. There's enough London clubs in the Premiership, and they're all around us. We're dealing with them. Andrew steps out, and he has an argument with sheep. It's a shock. Get back into
There is aliens, Andrew. There is aliens. Ask Yabba, he's seen them. Tyrone, put some respect on the Lit's name. What a brilliant signing. Listen, look, they're all stepping up, but it's 2 games. We need to beat Southampton. I'll hold my hands up. Bayenda was unbelievable in the second half. In the first half, his kicking was shit. Tyrone, a back 3 suits Maguire. Surprisingly, Ten Hag didn't realise this because Ten Hag couldn't adapt. He wasn't adaptable. Yeah, he wouldn't adapt. Stephanie, I reckon Dr. Sam Beckett played centre back and has quantum leaped into
I love that. That's a good one. Oh my god!
I can't believe fucking Quantum Leap, but you're unfamiliar with the Lord of the Rings. That is shocking.
Quantum Leap was
shocking to me.
I like sci-fi, not kids' fantasies.
Yeah, I like.
It's not a children's fantasy.
It is.
It's not. You've never read it.
Harry Potter.
No, it's nothing like Harry Potter. Harry Potter is for children.
Yes, exactly.
Lord of the Rings is not for children.
Oh,
guys in the chat. Sorry,
my bad.
Guys in the chat. Is Lord of the Rings for kids?
Oh, sorry, I take that back. I got confused with the two.
Mr. Herbert, obviously, if you haven't seen the first part of the show, it's no problem. Rewind it back. We didn't mention your name in this. The fact that you're still hurting brings joy to both of my badges, both of them. Yeah, the hatred I have for your club, you would never understand. I respect you. You came on the show yesterday. We didn't light you up because that's not what we do on the agenda. But your team is so fucking dead. And guess who started the rot? We did. So yeah, guilty. I want it to hurt. I hope your brother has battered you. I'm actually going to call. I hope Richard Herbert has battered you today.
And that's a friend of yours.
Yeah, that's his brother. That's his brother. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed your day at work. I really hope that Tottenham do you on Wednesday as well. That's a game that we won't have a hate along to watch, but our show will be on at 10 o'clock. So when you lose, you're more than welcome to. I understand it's a Man United channel, but you're YouTube family, so you'll be more than welcome to come on so we can abuse you some more. Right. We'll start with the Agate 3-game ban. Obviously, there was no VAR in the game. Maybe it wouldn't have given the penalty if there was VAR to Havertz, the diving little shit. But the fact that the penalty was saved, I think that brought us more. We had the anger and then we had the love and the joy. Now, Agate, obviously, the team got involved in not fisticuffs, but there's a level of commitment now that the team are now showing and spirit that I thoroughly enjoyed watching. I enjoyed seeing all of those white shirts falling on the floor. It was like a rock, the mall in rugby, but it was like professional rugby players against netball players. We were shoving them down, and you could see the anger. So Agate now, obviously, Havertz is grabbing him by his throat. Agate's saying, "I'm not taking this shit," and he's stuck his head on. He hasn't stuck his head on him, but he's moved forward, and they're talking about a 3-game ban for this. Guys, fear or unfair, man? What the hell is going on here now, man?
Sorry, you say they're talking about a 3-game ban, or they've issued a 3-game ban?
I heard they
It's
were
speculation.
talking. It's speculation, yeah.
Where's this speculation coming from? I can't believe this. Who's this? I don't get it.
Well, they love banning Uruguayans in the Premier League. Like, you name a Uruguayan player, they've had a big ban. I don't think it's true, to be honest, Yabba. There's like the ref, I think, spoke to them, and if he included it in the match report, I suspect that they're not allowed to be able to do something about it. I don't really know the rules. Yeah, I mean, people are talking about it. I doubt it'll happen.
Like, I'd be really disappointed if it did. I mean, like you said, you put in reports and whatever. The ref didn't see it. They continued. They got up. I mean, what I find, I remember. Do you remember that fight with Billy Bremner and Kevin Keegan? Wasn't there two? When they started fist fighting, like on the pitch, the Charity Shield game, yeah. And then the ref was like, "All right, break it up," and then it broke up. They didn't send them off, and then they walked off a little bit, and then they start fighting again. And then it's like, "All right, get off the pitch." You know, that's what it took. I think if you let these guys, when you have these big rules that Mr. B was talking about, and if people come running over and stringing up, you get a big centre back coming in, and giving a big shove and sort of separating people, pinching each other and doing little sly things. What I find, if the referee just lets them go and just watches, they won't do anything. There won't be a fight. Like when you
just argue,
come on then, you push me first. There's no fight going to happen. So what you should do is let them do what they have to do, and then see and start. Yeah, 74. Let them see see what's going to happen, because there won't be a 74 situation where they actually boom punch in your face. It won't happen. So,
have you ever had a proper fight on the pitch?
Me?
Yeah, we've had, bro. I'll tell you, man. You say no punches are being thrown. We've had some fucking So
tell us about an instant where there's been a rough fight. Like
I'm trying to think. There was a year when, for the last, basically, we're a bunch of softies in it, and I used to really get in, like, my early days of management. I was really aggressive in it, just because they wouldn't understand. I don't know. As you get older, you learn to deal with things differently. My thing was to shout at players, and we went out for the game, and one of our centre midfielder, big guy, the guy called, racially abused him in it. Anton never said a word. He never said nothing. Bam! Before we know it, the guy's on not me. Anton's head butted the guy, split open his nose, and we don't know what's going on. The ref hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Half of their players haven't seen it, and the guy's on his nose with obviously claret coming out of his nose. Thinking, okay, nothing. Anton's afterwards said the game, it was that. So the rematches come, boy. Listen, man. We may as well black belts. We may as well black belts and white suits, bruv. There was chaos.
Did they bring a firm with them?
No, they came and we started to play football, and maybe every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, there was something going on, bruv. Tackles, like Vinnie Jones tackles, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, all right, we won the game, but it wasn't a game of football, man. It wasn't a game of football. So, yeah, there's times when, and now I just think, like, 10 years ago, I was a madman. Like, I know why people didn't want to play with me. I know why. Now I'm just so, you know what I mean? It's different. Hey, it's just weird. It's weird.
The other day, we were playing a team. We ended up losing. Was it them? Yeah, we ended up losing anyway, like quite heavily. And we had started with 9 men. People turned up late against the top team. They beat us 7-0 in the end, or something like that. But what happened is, there was an instant. One of the guys, Damien, kept losing. Oh no, you don't know that. He kept losing his head. He's really quick, but he always wants to get stupid arguments with people, and all these things. It's like, calm down, you're good, just play football. So he ran, like, from the right back situation all the way over to the left wing, ended up there, done a tackle on someone who was the goalkeeper's little brother. So the goalkeeper's come running over, and you know people do MMA these days. So you want to go and have a fight. He speared him. Like, you know what spear is? Like, you know, Goldberg spear brought him down, and Damon's like, "Come on, then wanted to fight." And next thing you know, he's been handled. You know, like when you get position in UFC, and there's nothing he can do. And the guy was like, "Look, I punch you." You know, get off me. You know. But before, like, I'm like you, Mr. B. Before any incident like that, I'm running over, using my size. I've even got video. I've got video of it, quite funny one where I came on the pitch and bounced people on moves, just getting involved over nothing. My little dogs were there as well. But, I'll send it to you guys in the group chat. It's quite funny. I'm sure I've still got it. And so Damien got speared. Then Omar, one of our guys, who's a hothead, ran over, and for some reason tried to headbutt somebody, a bit like Ugarte, but he does this all the time. He headbutts people all the time, you know, like this. And then it gets kicked off. It went on, arguments. The game nearly got abandoned. They played on the end, sent off our guy, sent off their guy, and it's just like mayhem. But I don't get involved. I'm like you, Mr. B. I don't get involved anymore. I just stand there and watch, because you run over, and who are you gonna, you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? I'll just say, calm down. But Ugarte, going back to the whole point where we started with this, I'm going to hear.
We really went round the corner here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sorry,
but Ugarte's thing is Havertz is a shithouse. We know that. They got the penalty. Havertz has said something to Maguire. Maguire said something to the ref about that's disgrace or whatever. He could have been sent off for that, mind you, because we lip read. People got involved. What's his name? Havertz has said something to wind people up, and then he's going to sit there like the victim. Ugarte's lost his head, gone in there. What are you talking about? All right, you want to talk to someone? You get close to close, head to head, and that's when professionals try to, you know, do a little work, like a WWE work, where they take a bump. And he tried to take a bump, made himself look stupid, but he's a shithouse for that. And you can't now, after the game, with so much going on, there's so much thing, and millions of people watching on BBC. I don't know the TV viewing, but that's good for football. We want to see that. We want to see passion. That's what's missing from the game. So when you see things, instances like that, the teams come together, and Man United, what we're proud of is that we repped it. No one backed off. I remember halftime a couple of years ago was talking about something was kicking off and some players were just hiding. Can't remember who you're talking about, but you want to see everybody running over there and defending your team.
Greenwood and Cavani.
Were those two hiding?
No, I think Cavani used to look after Greenwood. I remember Lingard used to look after Rashford. And we played, I think it was AC Milan, they all ganged up on Greenwood, and Cavani was the only one that went over.
Yeah. You remember
Is that right?
Yeah, you're probably right about that. That's true. But just going back, I remember going back when we thought we were hard, when Arsenal were literally legit hard with the Invincible team.
Yeah.
That fight with Van Nistelrooy missing the penalty and all that kicking off. Do you remember when Keown done jump and landed his elbow and all that? You shouldn't allow that. A lot of our players, it's only Ronaldo and a couple of players were allowing that. They were scared. And even Rio decided to sort of sag around in defence. You know,
he was a poser though.
Yeah, he's not hard. You don't imagine he would do anything. But what got me is that guy Lauren, the right back Lauren.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever watched that back, like our players knew we were out of our element. You know, with these guys, they were tough. Lauren was a tough son of a, you know, and Lauren switched on Giggs, and from Giggs going like that, what? Lauren just turned and switched, and Giggs just completely shit his pants, and so, you know, you can see by his body language. No, and I'm thinking, this is the thing. Don't be scared, because no one's ever really going to hit you. Just throw football, get in their face, give them some, because don't be scared. Nothing's going to happen to you. Innit, Mr. B? Innit, Barra? Nothing's actually going to happen to you. So
if a man's going to make the effort to come all of that way, bruv, he better know I'm going to punch him in his face. Don't, fuck, I swear, even that, don't, innit? I'm not interested. Maybe that's a van driving thing. If they get out of their car and come to my window, what are you coming for? You're either going to get the door in your face or you're going to get something, the window down and something bust in your head. Don't be stupid. I'm not into all of that, innit? I'm not going to stand up there and get the first punch in my face to hit.
Can I ask a question? If you're talking about a possible ban for a guard.
You're crazy.
Is it because kids will be watching and saying that's out of order. We don't want kids to be saying.
No, but why is it? No, but then if Agate is going to get sent off, he hasn't headbutted him. He stuck his head on him. But then you have to deal with why he did what he did. If he wasn't grabbed around his throat, he's not headbutting nobody. Do you understand? So
Yeah,
they've
but
got
the
to
authorities. This is my point. Are the authorities look? Because we haven't. I don't know where the sources come from, but are the authorities saying to themselves, "All right, that's been shown all over TV. We don't want that. We want to make an example of that because we don't want this happening on grassroots or school football where people think that's okay to put your head in someone's head and things. So you have to be punished for it. Do you think that's what they're trying to make an example of him? Because I just think let it play, let it run. It's a good, hyped, fiery game. And there's nothing wrong with it. What went down?
Yeah, just carry it on. I don't see there's anything wrong with what happened. I think they should just let it just do it. There was no VAR. They chose not to have VAR. So get on with it now. Don't none of this retrospective banning shit. Nah. Not interested. Just let it go.
Bath time. Your thoughts and any incidents you've had where like fights and what you're feeling, because it's a great sport, man. You got to have that kind of thing.
I mean, when I was younger, and this will shock you, I had a bit of a mouth on me. And
really?
Yeah, and not only did I start a couple of fights, I never finished them. I got put up against a wall when I was about 17 or 18 in the in the Sunday team that I played for, and it was explained to me, not so much through words but through actions, about why I couldn't run around telling people that I made their dad swallow and things like that. So yeah, if someone said something about my mum, that was a standard comeback. I once did see something quite funny where there was in a football match when I must have been about 14 or something like that. A fight broke out. I think we were having a corner, and I was taking the corner. At the other end of the pitch, there was a fight going on.
Yeah.
But it was a fight that had spilled out from another game, like on the field next to us, and we just got involved in that, and that was an awful lot of fun. But I haven't like had a fight on a football pitch since about 2022 or 23, something like that. I just try and stay clear of it and things. I think, like, I sort of have the same attitude as Mr. B, is that if you're coming over to have a fight, let's have a fight. If you're coming over for a shout and a scream and a kiss and a cuddle,
over there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not really into that. I'm much more snide in the way that I will identify who's hurt one of our players, and I'll go and get him.
Okay.
So with your Garte thing, I mean, what do you feel about this? Do you think they should make an example of it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know the rules, but it'll be something like violent conduct. I mean, I can remember, like, was it Casemiro last year, got
Will
someone
Hughes.
around?
Yeah.
Will Hughes, for Palace, and things like that. I think I've got to be honest. I think Ugarte is far too on the edge for my liking.
Love it.
I don't like it. I think you've got to be in more control of yourself.
He is in control. Bath time. That whole, you got to remember what was happening in that game at that time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Be in control of yourself. You can't be in control of what's going on around you.
So that means it wasn't just him. There was 11 players. Well, 10 players because the goalie stayed where he was.
Yeah, but Garnacho gets involved doing something stupid. I mean, what is Garnacho going to do in a fight? Like, if Thanos turns up and first out the portal is Alejandro Garnacho, we're all going home, aren't we? Like, I just feel that some of our players, including Maguire, actually, lost it a little bit too much in that instant, and you need cooler heads around you to get yourself through these moments. Like, I'm glad everyone thinks it's brilliant that we all had a punch up and we got physical and stuff, but you're giving more and more opportunities for the ref to send you off, for you to lose your game, for your teammates. I think that you've got to get a bit more control of yourself. And we always talk about how Bruno is completely out of control as a captain, whinging and all this kind of stuff. I just want our players to kind of understand that the only thing you can control on a football pitch is yourself. So just stay in control as much as you can, especially
Just-
for defensive players.
Just to add, I mean, I know we're touching on this a lot, but it's a good subject. And I remember Liverpool played Arsenal last year, and Arsenal were beating them at Anfield, and then there was a little bit of friction, and it turned the game around. It got the home fans on side. Liverpool got back in the game and got a result from it. And I think the same applied yesterday. We were hard done by. We responded. We were reacting. Maguire was going off. Everyone was mad. Ugarte had the little thing, push and shove, push and pull, all that kind of thing. And I think that gave us the momentum to say, right, when we were like blowing and trying to get back in shape, which we've done really well. I saw one corner or one free kick we had, and everyone was sprinting back, back as fast as they could. And that, I think that comes from the fight situation. Like, nah, we ain't having it, man. As a unit, everyone's on this. The little huddle as well. All these things, that situation gets people together. And
it's great for fans, Yabba, but I don't think it's good for a team to.
It's good for halftime.
I don't think it is, because
we might not have won the game if that incident might not happen. We might not have had that fire. You gotta have some fire in your stadium, man.
Look, for me, because this is what I used to do. Like, I used to be the Ugarte and start things up and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you was the one who started and run off. Ugarte is there to finish his business.
Well, no, I needed backup because I was getting more and more people involved, and like, it was a bad habit. Look, when you bring up that thing about when Liverpool's crowd got up and Arsenal weren't able to deal with it, one of my concerns is I look at Arsenal, Liverpool a couple of years ago, Newcastle United. I think that they're too emotional to win leagues. I think things get on top of them and stuff like that, and they don't have the temperament to deal with it, like the bottle, to deal with it. And so when I see Ugarte going crazy and Maguire going crazy and Garnacho doing this performative stuff, I look there and I don't think it demonstrates strength. I think it's more weakness, that it's more things are going against us, this is awful, and stuff like that. And I would prefer, like, them to have walked away, got in a huddle, and sorted it out, because you're talking about how that fight is what kind of won us the game. If you tell me that, and you'll play into my point here, if you tell me that got Havertz too angry to be Odegaard too angry to be able to take a penalty properly, then that is kind of my thing, is that you need cold blood on a football pitch, and I'm not as into this. That was great, everyone fighting and stuff. It's not for me.
It is theme of the movie. You've seen Rambo First Blood, haven't you?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Is that the one where he's a drifter?
Yeah,
that's the first one.
Yes, yeah, I've seen the first one.
So the whole point is who drew first blood, and that's what gave him the fire to get on, and that desire. Even when he cut himself in the woods, and all this strife and trouble and strife he was going through, he said, "Nah, I had my fire in my stomach because you drew first blood and you created an animal." And that's what we were last night. We were like little Rambos running around.
That metaphor only works if we go and storm the PGM Mall or Stockley Park. Like Crocodile Dundee 2. Same plot as Rambo. But yeah, no, I understand everyone's going to be really happy with that fight and stuff. But just if him and Garnacho had been sent off, you'd be saying very, very, very different things. And I always want my defensive players to have more control of their emotions. And I don't know, Ugarte is just far too on the edge in every action he does for my liking.
Can we watch his space then? Because I disagree. I think Ugarte knows what he's doing. He's South American, bruv. You play football over there. You know
exactly. I know what they're like.
Yeah, so I think he's in control. It's a controlled rage. You
think he was in control?
Yeah, I think it's a controlled rage. You go. If he wasn't in control, he would have headbutted and went boom, a proper Phil Mitchell's kind of headbutt. But he went there, knowing what he's doing, and waiting to get something back. It's the art of war, isn't it? With footballers, you can only go so much. You've got to be in control. Otherwise, you'll be getting nutters out there doing what Mr. B did.
All right, is this comments?
Yes. Where were we? Shit.
I've started them for you. Don't
Oh,
worry.
cheers. I'm going back up here. Let's have a look. Clough was a complete, but I don't care about other clubs. Yeah, we'll do because he's mentioned Bart. Yeah, we don't care about other clubs. There you go. Look, bring Bart's name into it. Why not? We're on 17 likes.
Thank you.
Tyrone. By the way, it's still its first season, and I've been impressed. Still room for improvement.
He's such a liar. Tyrone is such a liar. I've got documented messages of him saying that De Ligt was rubbish, but I would never question me again.
Oh,
Shout out to Tyrone. Really good. Really good on Friday.
We've got receipts on that, Tyrone. So you know you can't. And you know what Bath Time's like? He's a little bitch.
Excuse me?
Sorry, big bitch. Sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Where were we? Let's have a look. Andrew only got sent off. What? Oh, should I? Oh, God. I was a sub. I actually have to remember once it goes to free thingies, I need to read it first. I was a sub. Chinda, who two-footed a 15-year-old kid who was playing on our wing. Well
Good
done,
on you.
Andrew. Well
Good on
done.
you.
See, it is in there. Tyrone. It wouldn't surprise me if I got banned. Yet Darwin Núñez receives zero punishment for his assault on De Ligt.
Yeah.
Sub vids. There's a great clip of Martinez and Agate. Stephanie, I remember the original 20-man brawl when George Graham manager Winterburn McClear had a beef to settle.
What's that about?
That was in 1987, 6 or 7. We had 2 brawls in, one at Old Trafford. You go and look what the fouls we were putting in on there.
Jesus Christ. I tell you, I mean, now you say, you wouldn't get away with it now, but they shouldn't have got away with it. It was like, it wasn't football. Yeah. It wasn't football.
Was it worse than that game where, like, the Pizzagate game, or like the Nevilles in particular on AS? Yeah.
Nah, much worse. Honestly, go and check it out. 1987 at Old Trafford, Arsenal Man U. Go and check out what led to that brawl with Winterburn. It was disgusting. I mean, Man United were disgusting what they did to Arsenal. They were kicking these guys several times until they had enough, and it just exploded. Because obviously this is 3:00 kickoffs back in the day. We're watching on teletext. It's not really televised so much, but there is footage out there, so you see the difference. The game's changed so much.
Maybe this is the one. Maybe that's the one Andrew was talking about there. Kieran is saying, I disagree. Agate should not change. If he changes, you don't have the same player. That's why Roy Keane was a winner.
Very good.
Tyrone. Kieran's is Tyrone. Kieran, Steven Gerrard wasn't like Keane at all. I've seen him apologise for hurting a player, and I've seen him ignore players who are spat on him. He's more level-headed than Keane. Okay. Emma Kay. Always loved those fighting on the pitch compilations, even when I didn't like football. I honestly love a good pushy fight. So, if one gets banned, so should the other. Both actions are not acceptable. Tyrone, Havertz had his hand around Agate's throat. What was he supposed to do, Bath Time?
Slap it away. The same way that Xerxes should have against Nottingham Forest. Or who was it? Fulham, where he let that man put hands on him.
Yeah, I think hopefully they've learnt now, because even at the corners, they made sure that people weren't pushing them around. So well done. Anthony, my brother, who's a Man United fan, once started a fight in an empty room once and lost. That's all right. Were you in there as well then, were you? Kieran, look at the players like Gerrard, Keane. They both had fight and heart. I love seeing a player in the famous red shirt doing that. There you go. There we go. We're up to 21. Will we hit 30 before we leave is the big question. Emma Kay, to be fair, he did well. Could have punched Havertz. I would have done. I would have self-defense. Emma, it's a good job you weren't playing then, innit?
Yeah, Emma's an example of someone who's out of control.
I'm naming my next child's Alte. Just the wife doesn't know yet. Oh, Will.
Alte Williams.
Yeah. Why not?
Is that a joke?
It's Bayinder's first name, Yabba.
Oh right, okay, okay.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
I just
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
oh, straight over his head, and he's 7 foot.
Yeah.
Angel, Yamba you're looking super cool tonight, Yamba. Right. What we did actually, what we did a guy. Oh, transfers. Napoli, £38 million bid for Garnacho, submitted earlier on. Obviously, we've rejected it. There must be a reason one why they're bidding. They must have had some
Yeah.
sort of they're not just going to randomly bid for a player. So I think he is up for sale. They're going to get that catch Villa money from PSG. So obviously they've got a space opening in their team. They did look at Rashford. I don't think Rashford's feasible for much people. What are you taking for Garnacho, or do you want him to stay? Guys in the chat, Yabba and Bath Time, talk to me.
Wow.
Anything below 45, I think, is difficult to stomach for Garnacho leaving. I think that I think you're right, Mr. B. Unfortunately, I believe that there's some legs in this, because the way transfers work is that Napoli will be speaking to Garnacho's agent, and Garnacho's agent will be speaking to the club, and he'll have a rough idea of what United are looking for. And they've come in with, is it 38?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think United have probably asked for 50, and we're gonna settle somewhere around 45 million and a decent sell-on clause, because Napoli have spent a hell of a lot of money for an Italian team. Spent 150 million in the summer. Kvaratskhelia, maybe that's how you say it.
Thank
Do
you.
you know he was only on about 80 grand a week. Like, he's going to go and make 3 or 4 times that at PSG.
Yeah, they're going to pay. Yeah, I heard they're paying him 280, innit?
Yeah, I'm very surprised he's leaving. They've got a very good chance of winning the league title. But with our sort of position of where we are financially, I think it's hard to turn down anything north of 45 million.
Matthew Bassett's gone 50 million plus for Garnacho.
What are you thinking, Yabba?
I'm really surprised. I thought this news was a boo-boo. I didn't think it was legit. Can't be, but you're saying there's legs in it. I'm really surprised by that. I'd be shocked if Man United got rid of Garnacho. He's a valuable asset to us at the moment. When I look at the team and look at the shape that we have, he's going to be playing in that role. He gives us penetration. He's got a little something about him. He's got some character. He needs to grow at our club. We don't bring in a young player like that and not develop him and let him go. You know, that would be a poor stink move. I'd be disgusted, to be honest, if we let him go. I don't care about the price range or the finance, whatever. He's a valuable asset because he's the talent, and we want to get the best out of these talents. We don't want to be selling them. I remember when Giggs was wanted by everybody, Inter Milan, all these dirt sides, and we didn't. We said, no, he's a valuable asset to us, and we're going to keep him. I think Garnacho, I know he disappoints a lot of the time. I've been disappointed by him, but he is young, but he's got something about him. He's definitely got something about him, and I think he can only get better. And I'd hate to see him go abroad. You know, the only issue I could think about when you were saying that, I'm thinking, well, maybe he wants first team football. To go to Napoli, he might be
his
a first
position,
team.
maybe.
Maybe, yeah, that could be it. Again, you know, that's a good point there, Bath Time. And obviously, if the winger's going, then he could. That's a like for like replacement, and that'd be a great move for Napoli, wouldn't it? To bring someone like that in, another Premiership player that Conte's bringing in, because he loves the Premiership players, the desire they have. But I don't. I'd be really, really upset if we let Garnacho go. I don't think it's a wise move to do that, because that would mean Sancho, Greenwood, Angel Gomez, all these young players.
McTominay.
Who?
McTominay.
Yeah, he's a bit older there, wasn't he? All these young players that we've had and had high hopes for, we just let them go and not really worked on it. And you know, you've got to resist. You've got to have a bit of resistance to transfer demands. We've got to say no. You ain't mugging us off. You ain't taking our little prized asset. He's staying at our club, and I think. If he wants reassurances or whatever it is, whatever they're manoeuvring here, maybe he's looking for a little contract or a bit of reassurance in the club. I think he'd be wiser and more advised to stay at the club. But maybe this news does trigger something where the club will say, all right, let's give him a bit more security at Man United.
But do you not think that, like, Garnacho is a wide player, and he's not going to be a wing back, is he, in the system? And he's not. I wouldn't say he's number 10. And so when and maybe he doesn't want to be a number 10. He wants to be a wide player or something like that. We've got no money. Tomorrow is like some sort of PSR deadline, and it's rumoured Leicester City are going to get hit with something. God knows. United, I think we'll find out tomorrow that we skirted close to the line on it. I think that, you talk about sacrifices and having to go through hard times and things. If you trust this manager, you trust the system. I think Garnacho has to be a sacrifice. You can get the most money for him. There's no natural position for him, and he hasn't looked like he's wanted to stay for a while. For me, I think that we laugh at Arsenal fans. We've got a lot of idiots in our fan base, and one of them appears to have broken the connection between the fans and Garnacho. For him, at least, he's had a witch hunt about the leaking and all this kind of stuff.
It has stopped though, regardless of who it was. It stopped.
Yeah, but if it wasn't Garnacho, how do you think he feels?
You don't think it was him?
No.
Okay.
I think it was Rashford, and I think that's why Rashford has been excluded from
everything.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's the punishment that you give, because we're trying to sell Rashford, so it'd be nice to bring him on for 20 minutes or something and show everyone he can do it, and he would want to do that as well to try and show his move. I think it was Rashford that was the leaker. I think that Garnacho had a bit of a witch hunt led against him. People hate his brother.
He's off Twitter.
His brother's back on Twitter, I think.
Garnacho's off Twitter. He's off Twitter.
But I so much of it points to me, makes sense to me that Garnacho would want the move, the club would want the move, because we need that money. You disagree, Yabba, don't you?
Finances, business never personal. Finances, that shouldn't influence the decision to sell one of our prize assets. He's a young player. He's got the world ahead of him. We've got to develop him at our club and put our foot down and say, no, stand out. We're Man United. You can't come along and just take off our young diamonds, and just for flash 50 million and think we're going to bow down. We're not mugs, we're not going to act like mugs. And I just think it's a good, obviously there's nothing to talk about. Every day you need something about Man United in the paper. I just think this is just speculation we put out. Why would he go to Napoli?
Why not? First team football.
Yeah, all right. First team football, I'll give you that. But why?
They're going to win the league. They'll be in Champions League next season.
Okay, all right.
It's a good club. It's a good club, Yappa. He's not on a huge wage. He's already moved from Spain to England.
So was he? Yeah, he was Spanish.
No, he's Spanish.
Spanish. Okay, yeah.
So his family, he's got a wife and some sort of child.
Sort of child.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But,
not a child, half time.
Yeah,
that would have been all right.
It's a child, yeah.
But they came here during COVID, so they might not know a lot of people in the area. There might not be much tying them down. He might not enjoy Amarin's training methods. He might he's a Copa America winner. He and he might just not like the Premier League anymore. And playing and things. I think that this will probably happen.
Bartine, Bartine, I love having you on the show, because this should simply be, in any normal show, it would just be Man United fans saying, nah, we're not selling Garnacho, that's BS. You're creating some kind of side, making a good argument and giving us something to think about. But the bottom line is, he's not going to get sold. There's no way. And so let me say this. Remember, we love Ahmad at the moment. He's on form. What he's been doing. He didn't start against Arsenal. Garnacho started. So if you're talking about speculating about what could be going on, I'm speculating that actually he has to keep Garnacho sweet by starting him, because he's a threat.
He assisted.
He set up a goal yesterday, and that was a good opportunity to say, boy, get back in there after your little punishment for whatever foolishness went down. You're starting because you're a valuable asset.
Do you accept we need to sell players, though, that we need money?
Yeah, but there's other players we can sell.
Like who?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
We're getting rid of Eriksen. We're getting rid of Casemiro.
No, we're not getting rid. No.
Rashford's.
Understand? We're not getting rid of Eriksen. Eriksen's going to piss off anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So he'd be
So
off
we're
the
not
wage
getting.
bill.
So yeah. So we're not
So
getting
you
rid of
plan,
him.
say, all right,
We're not getting money for him.
yeah, but you're going to reduce the wage bill, aren't you?
Yeah, but
That
that's
doesn't
natural.
help
That's
with rebuilding
natural.
the squad.
It does help.
It
No,
doesn't because
unless
they're
How,
treated
right,
as expenses.
how much is Ericsson on? 150 grand a week, yeah?
Yeah, but it doesn't help with rebuilding the squad
So
because
you're
of the
saying you're
accountancy.
telling me that to have a void of 150 grand a week doesn't help in rebuilding the squad?
no,
No,
no.
not at all.
Oh my
No.
God! I thought to get. Where's my tomatoes?
Hang on, I'll find the tomatoes for you. But I'll make my point as the tomatoes are coming on.
It's
There you go. You
Get the
can-
comment down so we can. Yeah.
I love that clip.
Oh dear,
Um,
dear.
Yeah, but right. So wages are treated as expenses. Okay. And you're right. They do affect PSR a little bit because it's to do with the profit.
What's PSR
But
again?
like financial rules. But essentially, when you buy a player, right, the way the accountancy works is you're buying them on credit, you're loaning them, and you pay a certain amount each season. So if you sign a £100 million player over a 5-year contract, you're paying 20 million a season for them. That's how the accountancy works. The wages are not part of that, of that calculation. So in order to get our profit up to be able to sign players, we need to sell players at a profit, which is why homegrown players who are nothing on the books generate massive profit. Because if you think about the sale of McTominay for 30 million, that means that we can get 3 players in on a 10 million pound a year rental. And that's how we managed to spend 150 million in the summer. So if we let Garnacho go for 45 million, that could, I'm not saying it will, but that could be 200 million transfer kitty for the summer. Casemiro leaving without a profit, Eriksen leaving without a profit, doesn't really affect our ability to spend in the summer.
So I just thought there'd be a void with a wage bill, and then we could say, right, where we get player in, you can negotiate, or you can get with the wage bill, knowing that in June players going to be leaving, and there'd be a void with the wage bill with Eriksen, say Casemiro, whoever's leaving the club. Then you can negotiate better contracts for the players that are currently there who are valuable, like Garnacho, for example. You talk about going back to the system thing. I hear what you're saying. With the system thing, is he not suitable? Has he?
I don't think he is.
I didn't get one this year from Vincent.
Grab a picture of Garnacho, please. I know you got one there. Fling it on your profile. Yeah, so with the system thing about Garnacho, I think this is the most important thing you're saying. Because all the other arguments is just speculation. This one I can go with about he doesn't feel comfortable playing in this system. I think he can. There are times where he's been effective. He's been driving forward, running. What's being wide? What difference does it make? I don't think
Intelligence and
I think in this position, he's driving in on goal all the time. He's becoming a provider. He's going to make his game improve as well. He's going to be picking up balls not in space, but surrounded by players. It will make him a better player, and I think he should be advised that there's a future for him in that role, because every time he comes on, he does give us something. And even yesterday, he set up the goal. It was him who picked up the ball, wasn't it? From
Delo's header.
And drove. No one else is able to do that. Drive like that and create, pop it off for Bruno. I think he's got something about him. And I think, when you look at Sporting, how Sporting set up their system, they had that Portuguese dude who's a number 10, similar to Bruno, in one position. They had a winger, the former Barca guy, as one of them. So a winger and a 10 is how they proceed. Someone who's quick, and it makes it difficult for opposition when you got someone like that. And I just think we need that penetration. We'd be damn stupid, to sell Garnacho. So I'm calling a no-no. I'm calling it's a fake story, fake news. And I'm saying it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I will do a forfeit.
You don't have to do a forfeit.
You don't have to do a forfeit, bruv. Don't worry.
What I will say is that here's another argument for you, Yabba. Garnacho's going to have to change his body shape if he plays centrally.
Yeah.
He's a young boy who's trying to break into the Argentinian team. Lots of people want him as a winger already. You're asking a lot. Like, he might even look at someone like Martial and see how Martial's career was affected from being a wide player and then becoming a central player. And he might look at Rashford and see, what happened to Rashford and his injuries and so on, trying to build himself up a little bit, and he might be advised against it. There's lots and lots of reasons why Garnacho wouldn't want to be like playing for this new system. And I honestly think that I think Garnacho, if he doesn't go in January, he will go in the summer. And it's a crying shame, I agree with you. But basically, I think that we have to get rid financially of Rashford, Garnacho, or it's Rashford and Kobe. And of all of them, Kobe is the one that I want to keep the most. So I'm all right with Garnacho going if it means we can tie Kobe down and get him committed and our future.
Just
and then I wish
quickly,
Garnacho the best.
Mr. B, I noticed, because you said a lot, both of you said about Kobe playing higher up the pitch is a better position. He got into good positions yesterday, high up the pitch, and done a little something where I was quite impressed. So whereas I was trashing it before, I do see what he can offer in those sort of positions. Judging by against the game against Arsenal, he's done a few things. Can't remember it come to mind, but I remember thinking, "Wow, yeah, you that."
There was that one before. Do you remember where Bruno got fouled from behind and it wasn't given as a free kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kobe was doing that. He does this sort of weird fencing move, like where he just sort of pushes the ball with the outside of his right foot.
Flicks it out.
It's a proper sort of like five-a-side move. But I'd love to see Collier and Ugarte with Kobe in front of them.
You read my mind, bath time.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for the conversation to finish. If Collier showed enough that he's ready to go.
He's a superb player.
I think he's ready to go. Now, to me, if he can get, he's never going. The thing is, he's never going to drop Bruno. So I get that Bruno's going to play, but if you look at what Collier brought to the game, his running power, his ball control, his short passing, his long. There wasn't so much long range passing that he had, but the fact that he was able to travel up and down the pitch, and we already know from what people say, he runs all day and all night, so that's not a problem for him. If we could get those two,
we'll see it on Thursday.
This is what I'm hoping, bath time, because
put Ahmad at wing back.
You play
Bruno and Kobe, and then Collier and Ugarte,
and who you please
Delo. He's suspended.
Oh,
so Ahmad to wing back, and
Mazraoui the other side.
Yeah, and then you put Bruno and Kobe as the 10s, Collier and Ugarte as the 6s.
Who you going to play as a number 9? Go on.
I've been thinking about this today, Mr. B. Do you want a hot take?
Go on.
Do you want a hot take?
Come on.
Lookman used to play for Everton and Fulham.
Yeah.
And now he's a world beater out at Atalanta. Dominic Solanke went for 20 million like 10 years ago from Liverpool to Bournemouth or something. And now he's a £60 million Premier League striker. Even players like Ross Barkley have like found their legs later in life. I think we have to look at Rasmus Højlund as that kind of player, and we don't have time for him to go 5 or 6 years to develop. So I would, from now on, I'd end the Rasmus Højlund experiment and I'd put Xerxes as the main man, because we don't have time for Rasmus to improve.
Thank you. Oh, well.
I thought I made that argument quite well with Lookman and Solanke and things.
I thought it was brilliant. It's the ending that sweet me the most.
Yeah, I think that Xerxes, I quite like the fact that like Ahmad went on loan and he's shown more bottle than anyone else. Xerxes been through a horrible moment early in his career.
And he showed a lot of balls, man. And
he scored that winning penalty. He came out, he put himself about. I think he deserves 3 or 4 starts in a row. And Rasmus has had his time. I don't really like him as a footballer. He's got a foundation to be a good footballer, but I would take the hit on him and just move him on and put him in the same camp as Lookman and Solanke and even Gyökeres. like a player that's going to peak a bit later in life, and we don't have time to hang around waiting for it. Send him to Brighton.
That's the one, Xerxes. That's the one I wanted to hear. Yabba, I see you're nodding in agreement. I see that obviously Andrew Williams is back to being Andrew. Maybe I should have just waited for the comments to be starred. But look,
I think it's funny. I think it's funny because like I remember fans are fickle, aren't we? And we say a lot of things. It's like who's hot, who's not. And I remember with Wan-Bissaka and Dalot when we used to play forward at the back. There's always debate. There was a period where it's like, oh, Wan-Bissaka's the main man. Then Dalot came and said, oh, Wan-Bissaka's got to be benched and Dalot's the main man. And it's good to have this competition. It's completely different players. I don't think we've had a chance to see the real Xerxes yet. I know he scored in his debut, but he didn't get a run after that. I don't think he get injured or something. He didn't get a run. You're right. I would like to see him play 4 or 5 games in a row to see what he's got, because then the players will adapt. The teammates will adapt to him and get the best out of him. We know what his strengths are. We saw it yesterday. What his link-up play is nice, and it's just about timing. You got to make him feel important, and his finishing is good. See that shot where he had where it went through the legs and then he went near post? I think he tries to place things in, and shape up. He's got a little something about him. So, me personally, there's pros and cons to both players. But for me, like Bath Time said, Rasmus has had a run. He's had a good run. But you got to mix it up, and you got to say who's hot at the moment. It's January. This is what good management is about. Xerxes turned it around. Maybe he's got 2 good games. If you start him against Southampton and whoever's next, maybe he can do something with the momentum as well. And this is how sometimes for strikers especially get into sides and get their place and become the player they are by having a bit of opportunity and a bit of luck, a little bit of luck, I would say, to do something. Some strikers, look at Mark Robbins, for example. He had a bit of luck, but he didn't help him in the future. He got sold, whatever. But he had an opportunity. You need the opportunity to do something memorable. And what happened yesterday for Xerxes is like day and night. He was a hero yesterday, but he was a villain in the space of a week. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you got to strike while the iron is hot and get Xerxes out there playing and give him more time so the teammates know how to use him. I think they understand that. We know how to use Ericsson. You play it to his feet. Even if he's got a man on his back, he'll pop it around, keep the ball. We know what Kobe is like. He keep the ball, trying. In tight areas yesterday, trying to play out. Kobe's pop triangles, trying to little shoulder, whatever move the Bartime suggested he does with his outside of his foot. He's got a little something about him. I think if you start playing Xerxes in and not expect him to hit the channel and do those Rasmus runs and start to play for him, you might see the Xerxes that we saw at Bologna last year, where he's creating little spaces for himself, got runners off him, linking up, and then it's looking like a dream thing. And then he gets collars up like Cantona.
Please.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah. That's too far. Like, if you had said that there's more appetite from the market, especially from Italy, for Xerxes, then I would say, yeah, like that's all right. I mean, for me, I'm going to be honest, I think that Rasmus Højlund operates at a championship level, and I think that Xerxes isn't too far behind him at the moment, and neither are good enough to lead the line. But I think that Xerxes hasn't been given like enough
opportunity.
Enough time, and Rasmus had.
You can't make a judgment. You can make a judgment on Rasmus, but you can't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But you've made a judgment. You just said, I think Rasmus is not that far behind the championship player level in Rasmus. That's you made a judgment.
I stick by that. But the thing is that like in terms of like a data set and things to go off, I've got much more to say that about Højlund. With Xerxes, I think you've got to give him the opportunity. Oh, for God's sake, honestly. This is what the channel has come to. Just Mr. B flirting with our chat. We are built on sex appeal, though.
How did that start?
It started because... Do you know where it started from? It started because of this comment that this dirty mind up here. Now, I don't think we'd serve better as making an innuendo there. I think I don't think he is. I genuinely don't think he is.
I thought he was. I'm sorry.
I don't think he is. I think he's talking about how he doesn't strike the ball correctly, and you, with that dirty mind of yours, is off Mr. B. He was crying with laughter when you were speaking. Yeah, I trust you. We deserve better.
Oh, sorry.
We need a commentator like David Coleman. Remember with the double
Coleman balls.
In 1976, double Olympic champion at 400 and 800, the Cuban. He said the Cuban opened his legs and showed his class.
The batsman's holding. The bowler's holding. The batsman's Willie.
Willie.
Like, look,
great stuff.
Just before this goes into sort of carry on things, I don't think
Mr. B's mind is in the sewer.
Yeah. It's lower than our league position, to be honest. I think that both of them are pretty poor, to be honest, Yabba. But I think Xerxes deserves time. I think Rasmus has had his time, and we should be looking to move him on.
I think we could. I think we could use Xerxes. Honestly, I just think he's got so much. But a player like that with that confidence, just get him in the position. I understand his shooting's not great. I understand that. Well, I'm talking about what's his name? We deserve better. Said he doesn't have the
ferocity.
Yeah, that's the word. He doesn't have the ferocity. So I feel that, but I just feel that link up play. If we can get somebody when he picks up the ball to be the one to go
third man.
The third. That's what. If they can get that third man, I think that he'll be. I mean, even Ahmad played off him. Them two, when they broke, one was going one side, and they were finding each other with the passes. So, I just feel that if we could use him more, try and utilize him more towards the end of the season, I think he'll probably prove himself more worth. I know there's interest in him, but do you really give up on somebody after 6 months? After 6
not for
months?
me, not for me. But I am giving up on Rasmus Højlund. I think he's got a lot of he's sort of like a less effective Darwin Núñez, like Højlund. You're waiting for him to put it all together. And when I think about Gyökeres and Lookman and Solanke, it could be 4 or 5 years away before he gets to, like, let's say, a decent Premier League level. And he's not operating at a decent Premier League level. He's had his time. I'm not a huge fan of Xerxes. Remember, he got taken off in that game because he was the worst player. Like, if someone else had been playing worse, they would have got hooked to put, another man in midfield. There's a reason why our away support and our home support don't really like him very much. We've got to be looking at getting a better striker in. Now Collier has kind of emerged. I'm with Yabba, where I think like a striker should be our main target. And Yabba, I've seen you down there poo-pooing this, but I'm hoping that I've done you with your own logic here by saying we need a striker now.
No, I wasn't poo-pooing. I just wanted to signal that I wanted to chip in.
Okay, you look like a 19th century fop when you were doing it. Like I was in the court of like Louis XIV. You were just waving your hands at me. Yeah.
I'll say this. Yeah, I like that what you said. Remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about hold-up play and bringing people play. We need to talk about buying someone who could do all that. I think Xerxes proved yesterday he can do it. Xerxes is unique. Let's just say this. I'm not saying unique as in great, but he's a unique player. To get the best out of him, like Bologna did, they used him on transitions in the right way because that's all they had. They didn't have a Højlund or another player, that quality to come in and do that. So to get the best out of Xerxes, you have to understand what is Xerxes, what is Xerxes, what is that? How to make it? And this is why I got dragged up the other day because fans, uneducated might think he's not worth it. But really, he's just doing his Xerxes thing, and it's not. He's being misunderstood. So once we give him 4 or 5 games in a row, so we can understand him, see what happens, how we play, see how we can link up through him and use him as the main focal point, and how he wants to do it and create space for himself, peel off defenders, do little, good first time control, get more game time to show what his control's like and how he can first time control, roll around man, feel him out, bring people in, have runners off him. And once he gets that, then you're seeing Collier and all these guys running off him because they know something's going to happen. This is what happens. You see how you get familiarity with people. It's like jokes, halftime sets up Mr. B for a joke, or Mr. B sets up halftime for a joke because you're familiar with one another. You know what sense of humor you guys have. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we need to do. Give the guy opportunity. He's been there 6 months. Don't trash him like we did. Get more understanding about who are you. What are you about? What is Xerxes all about?
I mean, for me,
this is where, hold on.
Right.
This is where I'm queuing up, plugging my show. Yabba investigates.
Okay.
Who is Xerxes? No joke. But yeah, I really do. I agree with you guys. I think you need to give him a run.
I think it's give him enough rope, to be honest, at this stage. I'm not completely convinced by him. He's not my type of forward, but he's got to be given time, man. And I mean, I think he got a bit lucky with the little chop ups he did on Saliba. And stuff like that. But this will be the most confident that he's been through. There were rumours he was going to leave the club, but it looks like he wants to stay. And now is the time to give him three or four games. And like Chiku is saying here about Rasmus and Xerxes and things. I'll tell you what my big issue with both of them is that a striker who scores goals, there would be absolutely no comment about the other one playing. If one of them was performing to even a decent Premier League standard, no one would be saying we need to drop Xerxes for Rasmus or vice versa. Both of them have to step up. And for me, I think that Højlund's had his time. So I'd love us to churn that striking position and go out and get even Evan Ferguson on loan. See what he's about. Because I know that Rasmus is nowhere near refined enough to be an effective Premier League striker.
Is that silence from Rebel? No rebuttal.
No, I'm listening. I'm just nodding in agreement. I think it's a good conversation. I'm not here to dispute everything someone says. I listen, I take it in, and just absorb what people are saying. It's interesting now. I can learn a lot from having conversations like this. And my feeling is give the guy more time to make a proper judgment. He's hot right now. Give him a few game time, and maybe he will blow up, and then we'll be raving about him. Well, like I said, we would be when he came into the club. I was really excited.
In your video, in your earlier Ronaldinho.
That was Thiago Motta actually said that. But yeah. You can see little touches like he did. I mean, he showed he nuts the guy yesterday, didn't he, Saliba? He's one-touch passing, his vision, creativity, his first-time touch. I'm sure there's a lot more to come.
I'd love to see it in the box, though, Yabba. This is my problem, is that neither of them are doing anything in the box. And if we're losing Rashford and Garnacho, those have been our two most reliable goal-getters for this season. I've got high hopes for Collier, to be honest. I think that he could add a couple of goals with those runs, but it's really we can all sort of say the fan base are fickle and the fan base of this and that. The easiest thing to do is just start being effective in the box and turn it. Look at Maguire. He's effective in the box at the moment, and no one's got an issue with him. If Xerxes and Rasmus start scoring goals or doing stuff in the box and making a difference, there isn't a problem. But we haven't seen it. And everything you're saying, link up play, all this kind of stuff, it's passing the responsibility on to someone else to score goals. And I want a complete shift in Xerxes' mentality where he's about goals. And do you remember when he signed and I said I wasn't happy with his comments? It's about what you do in the box as a striker for me.
But once again, going back to your point, you didn't like that, but he's unique. He's a unique player. So that's what I'm saying. We have to understand who he is, what he's about, and why he's got that output, a small output like he does, and how he benefits teams. Bologna got into Champions League place because they knew how to use him to benefit the team. It's all about winning at the end of the game. I know you're saying strikers should score goals. Arsenal are second in the league without a sort of recognised
Nottingham
striker.
Forest are second in the league.
Oh, sorry, well, same points, or whatever. But they're without a recognised striker. Do you see what I'm saying? So we always complain. We're talking these days about, are there any strikers anymore? We've had this conversation. So I just think, I want to come back to this and say the end of February and see where we're at with this conversation. Because the main talking points from this was, you think we've given Rasmus opportunity. I agree. Yeah. You've assessed him. You think he's nothing more than a championship player at the moment, but you can see how he can improve with the examples you gave. And I do agree with you there. I do agree. We know the areas he needs to improve. With Xerxes, he's got a bit more talent about him, and I think if we give him the opportunity to play regular first team football, he might contribute a lot more than Rasmus does to this team, and with the timing as well. I think it's all set for him to blow.
If both played consistently at roughly their sort of like the highest level that you've seen from them, who do you think gets more goals? Or who do we?
I think
Xerxes.
Yeah, I really do. You remember you done a show on him, didn't you? You did a little research before we signed him.
Yeah.
And you showed the areas at halftime where he scores goals, didn't you?
Yeah.
On the right, sort of.
Left-hand side
of the penalty spot. Just left-hand side of the penalty spot. Just left of the penalty spot. He gets a lot of goals there. So link up, and it slots them in those sort of areas, So I think if we can get more of that, little cutbacks, I see that those goals as little cutbacks, for example, getting in those sort of positions, cut back to Xerxes. It can happen.
We nearly had one, didn't we? Like he overran it a little bit from Bruno. But this one, like Chico's talking about inexperienced players and stuff, like. In my opinion, right, that the veterans teach you how to live off the pitch. You don't learn from them on the pitch. It's competition that makes you improve as a player above anything. If someone is doing better than you and keeping you out of the team, that's what gets you up, and that's why I'm really disappointed with both of them, because it would be so easy to end this argument between who we should play just by like producing in the box, and neither of them are being able to do it. And so if neither of them are able to do it, we might as well pick the guy who's better outside of the box, and there's no doubt for me that is Xerxes.
Yay, Xerxes.
Do you like that, Mr. V?
Yeah, I'll take that all day. Xerxes starting then. Thank you, half-time. We got there eventually. It might only be for one game. He might play at Old Trafford and stink the place out. But what I'm hoping is that he gets the cheer and the reception that I think he deserves. If he goes out there and plays like he did at Old Trafford again, then maybe the club's not for him. But I think that was the turning point for him, to be fair.
I hope so.
I'm hoping so. Did we have anything else to talk about, or is it time to eat?
It's time to eat. Rashford is going to AC Milan. They're having concrete talks, and Napoli are having concrete talks with us about Garnacho.
I'll take both of them gone. I'll be honest, both time. I would take both of them gone. I don't think
on loans or permanents or what.
If we could get Garnacho gone on a permanent for 50 mil plus add-ons, then I think that's 50 mil plus add-ons. I think that's a good deal. I don't think he fits into Amarim's style of play. I think for less money, Amarim and the club can identify a player that will give us more. Somebody who might be able to cross on their left foot and not just snatch their foot and hope that it falls in place. Somebody who may be just as quick as Garnacho, but whose IQ to playing in the 10 role is more adapted to what Amarim wants.
I want wing backs, man. I don't care about the number 10s at the moment.
No,
I want to see the system of wing backs.
If selling Garnacho for 50, if we sell Garnacho for 50 mil,
get two.
We get two players.
Yeah,
guaranteed. We get two players. You think he's going to get two?
Why not?
Can we pause and rewind a little bit? Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Last time I say get two wing backs. When we asked the question, what's the most important before the transfer window opened? We said, what's the most important position? You said midfield. Now you say you want wing backs.
Yeah, because we've
Well,
got
and
Collier,
I also
we've
said
got Collier
striker
there.
in this show.
Oh,
But,
for the Collier, do you think Collier's come in and like said, all right?
yeah, I think Collier
All right,
saves us. But I think that like if we're going to get a striker, it's got to be a summer signing. Like we're going to have to devote a lot of the budget towards it. We're going to have to scout them. We're going to have to sort of Kvaratskhelia, here we go. It's
Yeah, it's
not
not
looking
to
good
us.
for you, Yabba. That is looking like
PSG.
Garnacho.
He goes.
Like
Garnacho fills that gap. But as I said, they're gonna have they're gonna get 80 mil. They're gonna get 80 mil, so they're gonna have money burning a hole in their pocket. So I just think that'll be done.
I do. If they bid 38 and we're asking for 70, I think we meet them 50 million. 50 million plus add-ons taking it to 60 within the next 10 days. Like come on, Yarley, you've seen enough transfers. You know how these things work. Like, shout out to you, Yarley. But with that, say we get 60 million. I don't want us to spend that on just straight onto Gyökeres. I want that money put around the squad, and I think that
10.
Well,
As in 35 million player, 35
Yeah.
million player. Yeah.
and I think that one thing that does worry me is that I really like Amarin, and I love how he talks about training and fitness and athletics and stuff like that. If we don't get a couple of wing backs in, it makes it easier to get rid of him because we've made no investment. So that is why I want a couple of wing backs in. I want to see what this system is like. I want to understand what a two-man midfield is about with wing backs. And I think that we've got enough play. I mean, like, heaven forbid, but Mazraoui can play a number 10. Ahmad can play 10. Bruno can play 10. Mount might come back. He can play 10. Kobe can play 10. We've got Collier. Casemiro and Eriksen hanging about. We've got Ugarte. I think we've got enough in the centre now. I want to get United back with a bit of pace and flair in wide positions, and that isn't Dalot and Mazraoui. So that's kind of where I feel about it.
All right. This is the last one. Just before we go bath time. Just come up on Sky Sports. The Premier League are taking action tomorrow against two clubs who have broken financial rules from 21 to 24.
Neverton.
I'd say Forest and Leicester.
Definitely not United, right?
No, definitely not United.
Right, good.
And definitely not City.
So you reckon who's our money on?
Well,
I think it's Everton, Forest, or
Leicester.
Leicester. Yeah.
I think
Leicester.
the only outside category is Chelsea. I think you're right. I think it's those three, and I think it's Leicester. I think it's Leicester definitely, and I think it's probably Forest. Everton have just had a takeover, so who knows how that all works out.
I mean, wouldn't they have had
Atlanta going for their ponytailed striker? Everton's ponytail striker.
Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah. So they need to sell, don't they? Apparently, but they just sacked their manager. I'm really surprised by that. I thought it was
weird.
But the thing is that Forest, I quite respect what Forest have done. They don't care.
They don't care. They broke the rules and they don't give a shit. They're second and it's get lost. I don't think it's Forest. I don't think they would do it again.
Well, apparently Leicester got away. They
skagged them.
We got away by the skin of our teeth as well. We were about a million.
But Leicester did a dodgy one where they said they weren't in the Premier League, so their rules don't count. And then when they did it, they said they weren't in the Championship, so their rules don't count. So they actually got off. So I think Leicester are definitely one. I just don't think
that puts Leicester down, doesn't it? Basically,
and of course it does.
I hope it's not Forest because that ends the Premier League title tomorrow for me. Our only real hope is that Forest take points off Liverpool tomorrow night. If they get hit with, I think that they could be hit with a massive fine if it's not a massive points deduction.
Yeah, because they've Forest. Done it. Yeah, because they've
I think they might have a suspend. I think they could be done by 20 points or 21 points or whatever the max is. Because this will be. Would this be their third infraction in a year?
Yeah.
Did they get? Everton got 2 last year. So if it's Everton, I think they're going to throw the book at Nottingham Forest and Everton if it's them, because they've already had deductions, and I think it relegates Leicester. And I think it's a poor day. I think it's a poor day for the Premier League. I hate these financial rules. This is why Garnacho's going. It's disgusting how money rules everything now, and you can't even make money unless
and you can't even
cheat.
spend the money that you've
Cream.
got.
Yeah.
Cream, dollar bill, yo.
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me.
Matty Cash.
Wu-Tang Clan.
There you go. Yeah. And with Wu-Tang Clan, that will be us done. We will be back tomorrow.
We will be back tomorrow.
Who's in the clan tomorrow?
It is me, Yabba. We'll do it. It's going to be a late one tomorrow. Game on tomorrow.
Yeah, Dora can't do it.
So we'll be on at 10.
Some old dirty bastard, maybe.
Yeah, look, we'll be there. ODB. Yeah, we'll be there. And Rizza. For all you guys who do know, not Rizla, Rizza. For all you guys that know, but look, yeah, we will be back to
bath time. Are you neglecting us?
Yeah, I'm not here for the next 2 days, and I could possibly miss Thursday. But I'm trying to get people in, but they're not very well organised, and Dora's like working down the cardboard mine or something for 2 days. they've just been given. It's exciting time for Croatia. They found their own source of cardboard, so it's really going to revolutionise the country.
Don't, Wolf Time, don't. She's not here to defend it, guys. We're 4 away. We're 4 away from the likes. If you are going to watch it afterwards, we only need 4 of you to hit the like button. It would be nice if there was 14 or 15 of them. Even Tyrone's love. Remember to let Dora know that they've been abusing.
I've told her already.
Border Patrol, Gordon Bennett, guys. Look, yeah, we will be back tomorrow at 10 p.m. It will probably be the preview to the Southampton game. It might not be. Then we might sell a player. In which case, then the preview will be the day after. But it will definitely be at 10 p.m. As I said, bath time is going to desert us for 2 or 3 days.
Yes,
let the abuse flow. We'll Photoshop him and send him to him, so you don't have to worry about him not being here. So yeah, look, we will be back tomorrow. So it's like a notch from me.
Like a notch from me.
And like a notch from me.